Okay, so I'm doing this tack haul for the second time because the first time I deleted the video on my computer because I'm a fail. So this is all tack that I got from horse.com, and all of it's going towards Ladybug because I don't have some of the stuff I don't have for, some of it's gotten old, and some of it I just don't like. So we're going to get started with the first item on here, which is a Tory leather, and I've taken all the packaging stuff off because, again, I've already videotaped this, so I thought I'd be safe, but apparently not. So it's Tory leather keychain with, I'll show you the keychain real quick. Find the sword. Just engraved on there, BLM-Bugsy, and the text Roman, I believe. It's got its little clip, and I'm going to clip it onto my belt loop. And I wanted it because I keep losing my barn key because it's on a little itty bitty key ring, and this I will not lose because it's about the size of my hand. And I like that it has my YouTube name engraved on it. The next thing I got, that was $13.49, and you could have gotten that in black, Havana, or oak bark, and I got it in black. The next thing I got, I have one, and it's in purple because it was meant for Pocket, and Pocket's colors are purple and black. But mine was destroyed. I came into the barn one day, and it was fine the day before, and then I came in, and the handle was gone, the sides were all completely broken, and I picked it up, and all my grooming stuff went everywhere. So I had to get a new grooming tote. And the only difference between this grooming tote and my other grooming tote is that this one has two pockets, slots, whatever you want to call it, on one side, and then on the other side it has one big one. And mine's the kind that has 4 in total, and there's 1/4 slot, and then there's 3/4 on the other side. If that makes any sense to you, I'm not sure if it does. So I just need a new one just so that I could bring my grooming stuff everywhere. Then that was $8.09. The next item I got 2 of, and they're just vet wrap. It's not the 3M kind, it's a cheaper brand. Flex, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And I got both of them in red, just because red is Ladybug's color, and I'm kind of glad that I just threw it everywhere. The grooming tote came in red. I had no choice in the color, it just came that way. So each of those were $1.07 each, so I got them for $2.14. The next thing I got was a thing of Wonder Dust by Farnham. And Wonder Dust is just used to make a horse stop bleeding. And I'm just going to keep it in my medical bag, just in case she cuts herself. And that was $5.21. The next thing I got was a thing of Corona ointment. Both these things I have, but I'm running out of them, so I need new ones. And Corona ointment is used for minor cuts, sores, burns, chafing, and dry skin. It can also be used if your horse gets a sunburn to heal the burn. And this is just a 7-ounce bottle. And that was $6.56. The next thing I got was a Tough One 6-foot cotton lead and bolt snap. And this I'm not really happy about because it's a very small lead rope. I mean, if you look at the clasp compared to my hand, it's super tiny. I mean, Jason said that it looked like a dog leash, which is kind of accurate, but it's just going to be a spare one for if my good one breaks, if I have to clean it, if it gets stolen or I misplace it, whatever. Then I have this, my horse doesn't pull, so it should be fine. And it's in black and red, which are her colors, so we're all good. And that was $4.49. The next thing I got is another medical supply thing. I got an oral medicine syringe that's 35 cc's. And I just use this to clean my horse's eyes out. I'm throwing everything right now, I'm sorry about that. And I just use it to clean out the gunk that gets in her eyes because when the wind blows, she gets gunk everywhere. And that was $2.24. The next thing I got We have a salt block at the ranch for her that's a 10-pound one, and between her and the 2 geldings that used to be in the corral with her, it's now turned into a very tiny pancake, so I need to get her a new one, and it's just a Himalayan salt block, nothing fancy, just a 4.4-pound salt block. And she doesn't need it to drink, she just needs it to give her extra vitamins and minerals every now and again. And that was $7.99. I think it was the smallest one you could get on horse.com, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm really thirsty right now. The next thing I got was, okay, I have a black saddle, and I'm OCD about my Latigo, because I have a nylon one on the saddle that I have right now for Ladybug, and I don't like it because nylon doesn't breathe with the horse. So I wanted to get a black leather one because leather breathes with your horse. And finding a black Latigo in leather is the hardest thing to do. There was only one brand that had black leather Latigos. And the reason why I wanted a black leather Latigo is just because I tie my Texas T knot, and then I'll put the excess through the the leather keeper at the top. So I wanted it to match my saddle, and this was by NB Equine. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but oh well. And that was $12.95. Pretty standard. The next thing I got, because obviously you need an off-billet strap too, and the off-billet strap is also nylon, so I wanted to get for that. So I just got an off-billet strap. Pretty generic. I didn't care that it didn't match my saddle just because I'm not going to be seeing this, so I'm not as OCD about it. And this was by Fabtron Saddlery. If I can get it without a flare. There we go. And it was $9.90. And I thought it looked really fat until I put it against the Latigo, and then I realized, oh, they're the same width. We're fine. The next thing I got was a pair of Mustang split rein nylon reins, and I don't care if the reins are nylon. They've got these clips, which I like the clippy ones better than the tie ones, just because they're easier for me, and you'll see why I kind of want the clippy ones. So it keeps going, and then it has these gigantic poppers on the ends, which I might take them off just because they're huge and I don't use them, but then again I might not. But what I really thought was cool, that I didn't realize that it had, was this little thing, and it goes around both reins and slides back and forth, so you can have more contact or less contact, which is kind of cool. It replaces the knot that you tie in the reins, so it just makes it a little bit easier. Like when I have little kids, I usually tie the knot tighter, just so the little kids have more control. And that was by Mustang. And then I'll untie it for me, so if you're following that train of thought. Little kids get shorter reins, I get longer reins. And those were $14.39. 3 pages of receipt. Why must you make my life difficult, horse.com? The next thing I got, and I have a pair of these, and they're falling apart because they're 6 years old and I've used them a lot. And they're just a pair of Atlas working gloves. This is what the tag looks like. And they're in a size medium. I think they're men's medium because I have large hands for females. And they just have the rubber on the inside, and then on the tips too. And then this, it almost looks gray blue on my camera, but I promise you it's gray. And it says Atlas Grip on there. And I use these just for when I'm handling hay bales, specifically moving them, because the hay stabs my fingers, and then the hay string cuts my hands up, and then I get blisters, and it's just a big mess. So I use this to protect my hands, and I don't use them for when I'm mucking out stalls or anything like that. They're just used for hay. And they were $4.49, so lasting 6 years and not falling apart. Pretty good for the price that it is. The next thing I got, and I'm not sure how well this is going to work out, and I'll explain why in a second. Okay, again, I got black leather breast collar because I have a nylon one right now, and I don't like it. This is for a martingale, or tie down, whichever you want to call it, and I'll never use that because I don't use a tie down. What I thought was really cool about it, before I explain why I don't think it's going to last very long, is it has this buckle. Like, this is the clip that clips to your um, cinch or girth, and this just moves it up and down. So, and then it has the adjustable by where the saddle attaches to, which is standard, but I thought that was kind of neat. But why I don't think this is going to work very well, or I don't know how well it's going to work, is that it has this snakeskin padding, so it's squishy. But I don't know how the snakeskin is going to work with sweat. It might hold up well, it might not, I don't know. But it looks like it's nice and well made. And it's by the brand Perry. So I can't imagine that's horrible quality because I've had Perry stuff before and it's lasted a long time. But again, it was the only black leather breast collar that Horse.com carried, just because black leather is kind of hard to come by. Again, sorry. Drinking. And that was the most expensive thing I bought at $39.99. I had a notification, which is why I touched the screen there. The last thing I got, I had to remember which side it was on, was something I didn't know I was going to get, because I didn't place the order. Jason placed the order for me, but he just used my card and all of that. And I was going to get a side pull rope halter, but I didn't like it because, well, I did like it, but I was kind of upset that it wasn't in the color that I wanted it to, which I was going to get over. And I don't like tying the rope halter knots, just because I have a really hard time keeping, how can I explain this? I have a really hard time tying the knot to the correct length that the horse needs it. Like, I always make it really loose on their head. I can tie the knot just fine. It's just getting it to be the correct size is what I have an issue with. So he went on Horse.com and he found this, and this is ingenious. Don't know how he found it, but he did. And it's a regular rope halter, except you tie the knot on the right side, and then you just do it once, and then every time after that, there's this nifty little buckle-y thing here that you just clip it on the left side. So I thought that was pretty neat. And I just added rings on the side, and this is why I wanted clipped reins, so that I could clip the reins onto here when I needed it as a bridle, because I like to ride in a rope halter instead of in a bit. And I was going to get a hackamore, which is, if you can see that thing right there, that's a hackamore, but it's too big for Ladybug because it was cats, and they're really expensive. And so I was just going to get a regular rope halter, side pull one, and then he got me this, so I turned it into a side pull. But then I wanted it to where I could take the reins up easily and put a lead rope on easily. And it's in red, so I'm happy about that. It also came with this just regular tie rope, lead rope, and I'm going to use this for when I want to do bareback and bridleless riding. So I was going to go to Bass Pro Shop and get one of the soft cottony ropes that they have, and now I don't have to. And that was $9.89. So that was a good price, and it was by Mustang for an 800, 2,000 pound, or I'm sorry, 1,100 pound horse. I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time right now. So it's for a regular horse size, and my horse is anywhere from 800 or 900 pounds because she's a Mustang. So that was all that I got on Horse.com, and the total came to $141.82 with the discount, because they were having a 10% discount. It could have been 10 or it could be 15, I can't remember. But I also have two more things that I need to get before Ladybug comes on Friday of this week. And that's a pair of Western boots, because my Western boots have gotten far too small and I can't put my feet in them anymore. and I'm tired of wearing my stupid yellow work boots. If you've ever gone to the men's section of a shoe store, you will find these stupid yellow working boots, and I would go and get them, but they're in a completely different room, and that would take too long. So I have to get those, and then I also have to get a pair of, or not a pair, a hoof rasp by, my cats are going crazy, by Evolutionary Hoof Care. And then I'll put their link in the description. It's just a rasp to easily do a Mustang roll, which is a very healthy way of keeping your horse's foot barefoot. And my horse is a Mustang, so she shouldn't need shoes. I mean, she lasted 5 years or however long she was in the wild without them. So when I get those, I might do a video. I might not. I probably won't just because I'm lazy. But, you know, I might. So if you guys want me to do a review on any of these things, I'm probably going to do one on the side pull or the easy on rope halter. And if you want, I'll do one on the breast collar. Just put a little blurb in the comment section saying what you want me to do. And if you have any other video ideas, because I have no idea what I want to do on this channel, go ahead and put those in the description too.